In this video, I'm going to show you what I've learned over the last 3 years of playing chess. And to do so, I'm going to demonstrate against a 2000 rated bot, and they play d4. Now, in the opening phase, at this level, I'm mid 1900s with a peak of 2050. We want to know some opening theory, but everything is played around the opening principles, which is control the center, develop your pieces, and castle. So d4, let's control the center with d5. And they're playing a queen's gambit. Now, you need to know like what you're doing against this move at this level. I play the queen's gambit declined, and yeah, so let's do this. This move protects our center, and yeah, if they were to take, we would have just took back. We still control the center. So all these moves are rooted behind the opening principles. Now, does this move come with an immediate threat? Can they take? No. So there's no threat. Now, I'm still in book theory, so we're going to play a6. This is called the Jawinski variation, and taking is the best move. And we capture back, still maintaining some control here. They bring out their bishop. So what does it do? It's attacking here. Are they able to come in, pressuring the pawn? No. Do I want to go here? No, because it blunders a pawn, right? So somebody might automatically play bishop d6 saying, oh, takes. But you have to ask yourself, after I play a move, what can my opponent do? And this is something that lower rated players neglect to do, and that is thinking for your opponent. So you have to think bishop d6. Okay, if they take, I take back. Bishop d6, does it undefend something? Yes. The pawn, so we can't play here. We could solidify the center with c6, but we can also just play knight to f6, a developing move. Now, they play e3. What's the idea behind this? Well, it's just controlling the center, but it's also opening up this bishop. Where does the bishop want to go? Well, the bishop would love to be active on d3, right? And then where does our bishop go? We can't really go here. They'll just push and kick us away and then play for the center. We don't want to go passive with bishop e6. So let's develop our piece. And the great thing about a6 is that if they were to play queen here, we could just play b5 and everything's protected. So they bring out their bishop. They're offering us a trade. Now, typically, to take is a mistake. But let's see. Do we want to capture and allow them to bring their queen? Not really. But is it the end of the world? I don't think so. Can I jump the knight in? Knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn, meh. We don't really need to do that. We could also play queen up. Do I want to do that? No, because I want to put the knight on d7 after playing c6, just keeping everything very, very solid. So I'm thinking we just take and then develop the bishop somewheres. And we can play bishop d6 now, since this is protected. So let's go ahead and just capture the pawn. Or capture the bishop. They take back, and we could play bishop d6, trying to castle. We could also just develop the knight. We don't want to play a move like c5 here because takes, and we're left with an isolated pawn. We want to keep everything nice and solid. This bishop is kind of strong, but our pawns are going to be on light squares. So maybe we want to plan to play like g6, bishop g7, and control the dark squares with our bishop because we're going to have all our pawns on light squares. I think knight c6 would be a big mistake because we want to be able to play c6. We could also play bishop e7. This is a move. Let's play bishop e7, getting ready to castle. And now they push in the center. Okay, so we don't really want to allow this. If I were to take knight takes, queen takes, I don't see any huge issues here. I don't think allowing them to push in the center is really that great. I could also go here, but then they can take... No. Okay, so we're going to capture. And knight takes, we can just castle, because if they take, I have a bishop here. And they've created an isolated pawn now. So this shouldn't be that amazing for them. We don't need to give unnecessary checks, because they can just go back and block. And we're not making any progress like that. Is there any threats behind this knight being here? I don't think so. I think we can just go ahead and castle, get our king safe. They develop their knight. So if I were to play here, takes, bishop check, bishop goes back. I could play rook here, but the queen will see this square. So if we take, yeah, we don't want to do that. I can develop and put pressure on this piece if I want. We could also play knight to d5. One thing that you want to do when you have an isolated pawn is blockade it. And knight d5 does exactly that. Bishop goes back, and then maybe we look to trade. Okay, let's put our knight on d5. We attack the bishop. Do we want to take the bishop? They're giving us the bishop. It looks nice, but is it nice is the real question. I think we should finish our development with knight to d7. Let's just finish our development. I don't really think there's a need to do that. Okay, knight goes back. They're offering a trade again. But I can just play knight to f6 defending. We want to maintain our blockade, so let's go ahead and do that. Just slowly improving our position. So maybe I can go knight takes, and then improve the bishop's positioning here. Or I could play knight takes. Knight here is not possible. So if I go here, bishop takes, queen takes, should be fine. Bishop here, if knight takes, should be fine. Let's offer a bishop trade. Instead they go there. So if we were to take, then yeah, we're not doing ourselves any favors. Although I could take knight takes, or takes here. Takes, I could take the knight, and then they take with the queen though. Yeah, we don't want to give them that. We want to keep their isolated pawn. Let's just improve our rook. Stay patient. They just make a waiting move here. I think they've blundered with this move. I think I can take, rook takes. If takes, we just take back. Is there any good discovery attacks? No, I don't think so. So I think my opponent's just blundered a pawn. Let's go ahead and capture this. And we take back. Our knight is protected. Okay, so now they're going to go for an aggressive move here. If I were to go here, attacking the queen, where do they go? We should be able to just play rook e3 here. Knights are protected. There is one attacker. Well, there's two attackers. We have 1, 2 defenders, even if the rook moves. So let's just tempo the queen. Yeah, the queen slides back. So if I take, it's not doing me any favors. Knight here is a tempo, but they can just take it. Maybe we just keep everything solid here. Play like c6. If knight takes, defending the rook. And then we have ideas of bringing our queen into the play like this. Yeah, so they go back. That allows my queen or my knight to now make forward progress again. So if I go knight here, where does the queen actually go? Queen here, attacking the knight. And then the rook is going to get almost trapped. So maybe we want to come all the way back now with our rook. Or we could actually no, we can't protect. Okay, let's come all the way back here. Knight goes there. Now we can go ahead and pin and maybe try to double up. So let's bring our queen out. We're lining up with the king and trying to play rook there. Okay, my opponent is now offering us a queen trade, but we can just take and go into an endgame here if we want to. So takes, and then we could take this pawn and just be up 2 pawns. So let's go ahead and do that. We trade queens, and we trade the rook, and then we take the pawn, and now we're up 2 pawns. The knight's coming in. There's potential checks here. So I think I can go here, check, just king up. We're making a luft for the king. Yeah, so they go there. Now they're attacking this pawn. Is that an issue? I don't really think so. Something you don't want to do is go passive. Also, if they take, I have rook here. So maybe I just play knight d5. If knight takes, rook b8. And if the knight goes back, we can just start infiltrating. And I think we should be okay with that. So let's go ahead and play knight to d5. Instead, they want to try and go after this pawn. That's a logical move. I don't really want to go passive with the rook here on b8, but maybe we play rook b8. Anyways, the knight is kind of trapped, has no moves. So maybe I'm threatening to play this. I think I have to go passive here. You go rook b8, king f8. What do you play? I guess you can go here realistically, but then I just take. So yeah, let's just activate the king. King activity in the endgame is important. Now we go here and we're going to get a trade. Knight comes in. Let's capture that. Trades are what we're looking for. And now I think I can play here. I go, and then he goes here though. So let's just control the knight. Let's play h6, not allowing the knight to go here. Knight offers a trade. Okay, we will take that. We're playing an endgame here, up 2 pawns. So how do we convert this? First things first, let's take control of the open file. They give us a check. Now where do we put our king? If we come forward, king here, we can just step back, protecting. And we want to get active. If we go here, check, king here. I don't really love that. So let's come forward with the king. They just go all the way back. If I go here, they play this. I go here, they go here. We should be able to play c5 in that position. So rook d5 seems good. And they just give the pawn. We're going to take that pawn. And now it's just a matter of conversion. Let's go rook b5. So now they have to be pressuring this. So if I go king here, check, king up. If they go back, we can push. So let's try to get our king active. But now we have a very simple way to win this game, and that is by forcing a trade of rooks. And we go here, and we trade the rooks, and we're just up 3 pawns in the endgame. You won't lose this game, although this is a horrendous move. They could have went b4, but fortunately they didn't. Okay, the king is trying to come in here. Let's just stop his counterplay. He pushes this pawn, but now we're going to play h5. They take, we're going to take back. Now we have this passer. And let's just come forward with the king. There's a gazillion different ways to win this. We're going to push the pawn. They stop our advancement there. Now I'm going to push this pawn so they can't go here. Now we push here. If the king goes back, we keep opposition. And we can ignore everything else in the position, potentially. Or we can just go here and try to create another pass pawn. Yeah. That's exactly what we're going to do. Takes, 2 squares away. King goes back. We want to make sure we don't stalemate. So if I go here, king here, here, we can just promote. Now, does he have a square? He can go here. So let's go ahead and make a queen. The easiest way is to just do a ladder mate. But let's start with the check. King goes all the way back. Okay. Now, if I go here, they can go here. Let's go ahead and go here. They have to play king here. And now we need to make sure that we don't stalemate. So how do we win this? We can go here, king here, king here. Then I can play here, and here is mate. So queen here, king here, and checkmate. Boom. GG. And yeah, hopefully you got a little bit of value from this on how you can reach this level as well. Some little insights here and there. In the end game, you can use Chessable. Chessable is a great way to study your openings, your end games. There's a great free end game course on Chessable. And as per openings, there's all kinds of information out there. There's free YouTube videos. There's lots of lead chess studies. There's endless Chessable courses. You can literally use the engine yourself to make your own Chessable course. Like there's no reason why you should not be able to reach this level if you're willing to put in the work. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.